Hello, guys, and welcome to the very first podcast of this podcast. I know that doesn't make sense, but it does. It's first podcast. First episode. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm sorry. Well, for the first podcast or for the first episode, I'm recording using my iPhone. You might be saying, why? Well, because it's convenient. You should do that too. All you have to have is an iPhone. That's it. Or any other phone. Sorry, this is not an ad for Apple. Sorry. Alright, sorry. I do have a microphone that I can use for podcast, but it takes more work. And it's not that I don't want to work or anything. It's that this phone idea is convenient for my show. And again, if you're not familiar with my show or this podcast is a way for me to talk to myself like I used to as a kid. No limits to the thoughts and no scientific facts are involved to my thinking. Well, scientific facts kind of limits your thinking if you think about it, right? Well, it's good. It's a good limiting way, It limits your thoughts so that you don't look dumb. Or it gives you answers. But sometimes when you get too many facts or you go to school too much, you kind of lose touch to the world. You lose touch that this world is still too big to be fully discovered. They did not discover everything yet. It's not figured out yet. You can figure out the next big thing. So sometimes you keep hearing these scientists too much. You're getting all these rules at school till you feel like you're dumb. Like the maximum knowledge is out of reach, like to get to their level. That's what it seems like. But well, kids don't have that. Kids are thinking. Even though they are dumb, but they're thinking. They're really thinking. They get a lot of creative ideas. Unfortunately, they're dumb. I am sorry. All right. Let's stop hating on kids and saying they're creative at the same time. And let's get into the topic of today's episode. And that's accents. And we're going to talk about English accents specifically. Well, I did not prepare anything but the topic. All right? This is how this podcast is going to be. Like, this is how it's gonna go. So, why did I choose this topic? Well, first of all, I did not speak English as my native language. In fact, I started learning English in 3rd grade, I believe. Oh no, it's even later. It's like 5th grade. Yeah, 5th grade. So it's not even my second language. My second language is French, le français. Even though I'm better in English now than French. As you know, English is a relatively easy language to learn. It's not that hard. And when you learn it, there are two major accents, whether you like it or not. Australians, that's American accent, and the British accent. And, in where I came from, usually the systems are British systems. So you learn the British accent at school, the British English. But then everyone talks in American accent, I think, or I believe, normally. Like when you watch movies, on on the internet in general, Americans are there, they're present. So you hear their accent more. So for me, it's a mix. It became a cocktail. I started learning the British way, British accent. I started speaking English in a British accent. But then I moved to Qatar, that's in the Middle East. They too have a British system in school, but everyone speaks in the American accent for some reason. So I had to get used to it too. I started speaking English in the American way with my friends. So then it became a bit confusing to me. Sometimes I say the same word in two different ways. I say but and then but. So, and it's unintentional. I'm not doing it. Alright? It just happens. It just happens to be the case. I'm not trying to show off. Trust me. And it's confusing to me and to all the people too. It's not just me. Some people think that I speak 100% British accent, and some people think that I'm speaking 100% American accent. Well, let me give you news. I speak a cocktail, okay? I usually pick the best word from each accent, usually, I believe. Well, this is why I'm making this episode in the first place. I'm not sure myself. Am I speaking British accent or is it an American accent? So, if you have any thoughts, you can comment down below or tell me, whether on Twitter or on Instagram. You can tell me, hey, this is your accent, alright? Because I'm not sure myself. I don't see myself as 100% British accent. I don't see myself speaking that. Or, I don't know, man. But yeah, well, overall, I think that the British accent is a bit better. As you can see, better. Again. And you might well, here's why I think the British accent is better. Well, it's mainly because of one word, and one word only. And that's water. Americans say water. It's insane. How do you say water? Water. Where did the D come from? What do you mean? That's just insane. Well, that's the only reason I'm saying British accent is better. But American accent is like out there, you know? It's, I don't know. There's some, I don't know. It's cool too, I guess. Yeah, it's cool. It's charismatic, I would say. But yeah. Well, now let's get a bit deeper into the conversation. This is how all conversations when you're a kid are like. You start with a basic idea, and then when you go to bed, you start going deeper. Does the accent actually change our way of thinking? Because I was trying to think about how do I think actually? How do I think? So sometimes you zone in and you start thinking. And this problem is basically for bilingual people, usually. And you will catch yourself speaking in a language, and I can't remember if I'm thinking in English or French or Arabic. Like, I can't remember which one I think with inside my head more. I really can't. Like, I want to know. And then there's the accents. There is the accents. Sometimes, well, listen, something came to my head right now, like literally right now. So sometimes when I'm thinking about someone who's from England, I would start thinking in a British accent. And when I'm thinking about an American person, whether that's a TV personality or whatever it might be, I would start thinking in an American accent. And that's very interesting, to me at least. And that's the same thing for Arabic, which is my native language, which I'm surprised that I don't think that think in Arabic, like, I don't know, maybe it's 50-50 between Arabic and English, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, even in Arabic, there's too many different accents. So when I'm speaking to my friends, usually I'm using the Middle Eastern accent, whatever you want to call it. So when I think about them, or about something that happened, I'd start thinking in that accent. But when I'm thinking about my parents or my family, I'll start thinking in my native accent. Native accent. And in school, we also spoke another accent, which is it's Arabic, but another accent. Yeah, I speak too many accents, by the way. I speak also another accent that is Tunisian. I used to study in a Tunisian school, so when I'm there, I start thinking Tunisian accent. So I really find that very fascinating. I really did not. This is crazy, okay? I knew this podcast is gonna help me, but I did not know I'm gonna go to conclusions just like that. I swear to God, this podcast is not scripted. I can take a picture of my files that I prepared. I just prepared the titles of the podcasts. So this is crazy. We came up to a conclusion. When you think about something that happened in England, you'll think in a British accent. Well, that's for me, but this is me. Let's not make it general. Maybe you'll relate to it. Too relatable, right? Maybe not. But what I'm saying is, this is crazy. This is crazy. First episode, this is like a KO. This is like a KO. Like, unbelievable. I don't know if I have anything to add to the conversation other than this conclusion. So I think we're gonna call it off today. This was the first episode. I hope it went well. Well, I think it went well. That's in my head. So I don't know if it went well or not for you. So let me know, please. I hope it went well. I hope that the phone's microphone was great and did the job. I hope so. And see you in the next time, guys. Peace.